Hey guys, I'm Erik Peterson, and I'm a men's dating and relationship coach for skillofattraction.com. And today's coaching video, it's actually kind of a coaching slash attraction tips video, is called Bumping Into Your Ex During No Contact. Now, as many of you know, these coaching videos is when one of you guys writes in, and if I think it's a question that will be beneficial to my subscribers and the YouTube viewing community, I will answer it in a video. And the question that this viewer sent in is, obviously he has bumped into his ex during no contact, but I get not a lot of questions, but I get the question a lot of how to behave when you do bump into your ex during no contact. So I'm going to answer his question, and then I'm going to run down the best way to behave when you bump into your ex during no contact. Some of you go to school with your ex and you see them on a regular basis, so I figured this would be a good opportunity to explain how you should handle this in the future, because if you don't handle it right, you know, it's just going to prolong everything. So, but if you guys need to get in touch with me, or if you have a question, please feel free to shoot me an email. All you have to do is head over to my website at skillofattraction.com, click on the contact tab, and shoot me a message from there. Now, all that I ask is that you keep your message to me rather short and concise. Just stick to the important parts. Really 1 to 2 paragraphs max. I just don't have time to go through these long emails. And I will get back to you as soon as I can. I do have to take care of my paying clients first, so if you just be patient, and I usually get back to you within a couple days. And like I said, if it's a good question, I'll answer it in a video, or I will respond to you. I will write to you with my response. Now, if you need to get in touch with me right away, the best way to do that is, again, head over to my website at skillofattraction.com, click on the coaching tab, and there I have several options for you to choose from. I offer emergency email coaching, and I also offer monthly coaching, where I will work with you throughout the month to try to get whatever relationship issue you're having turned around and get you back on track. So let's get on to the email. He says, "Hi coach, I would like to know, how does bumping into your ex affect no contact?" Well, it could be good. My ex broke up with me 2 months ago. I bumped into her after a month and a half of strict no contact. I was smiling and very positive. Good. She, on the other hand, looked very scared while talking and avoiding eye contact, like she wanted to run away. I continued with no contact. Why did she act like that? We were together for 3 years, no fighting, no cheating. The reason why she broke up was that she loves me, but wasn't feeling it anymore. Thanks in advance. Keep up the good work. Okay, well, first I just wanted to say, you may already know this, but for other people, I think just about every guy, at least at one time in their life, has heard that dreaded line, "I love you, I'm just not in love with you." And basically what this means is that she loves you and she cares about you, but more in a brotherly, platonic sort of way. And from what you've said here, you said there was no fighting and she broke up with you because she wasn't feeling it anymore. This is what happens in a lot of long-term relationships, and you guys should know this so you could try to avoid it. Because what makes a relationship so passionate, where you just want to tear each other's clothes off, it's the polarity, the masculine versus feminine polarity. Most of the time it's the man who is more masculine and the woman who's more feminine. And I say most of the time because sometimes the woman is more masculine and the guy is more feminine, or in a same-sex couple type of relationship, there's always one more masculine and one more feminine. And what happens is that a feminine woman is going to be much more attracted to a masculine man. And it's that polarity that creates that intense passion. But what happens over long term is the couple starts to kind of even out. And a lot of times, obviously, the guy starts to become more feminine. And when that happens, the woman starts to act more masculine. And then you're just kind of even. And that's boring. And you really just kind of become good friends. And actually, women, when they have to become more masculine, feminine women, when they have to become more masculine, they actually kind of resent it deep down. But someone has to take that masculine role and someone has to take that feminine role. So that's usually how the spark kind of fizzles out. It's usually that masculine man. He was masculine in the beginning. She was very feminine in the beginning. And he starts to act more feminine and she starts to act more masculine. And that's really what overall is what I'm trying to teach you guys with my videos and my blog, is how to be more masculine and keep it up. It's easy when you're thinking about it, especially in the beginning when you don't care as much, but as the relationship goes on, that's where things start to even out. But anyway, I just wanted to take that opportunity to explain that to you very briefly. But anyway, back to your question. First, I can't say, you asked why did she act like that, and I really can't say 100% sure why she was acting like that, but my best educated guess is that she still has some feelings for you, and she was just very uncomfortable and anxious. Most people are when they bump into their ex, especially this soon. And I know it's probably not the reaction you were hoping for, but that's okay because you actually did handle it right, at least according to what you've shared here. And so many people get nervous that they broke no contact when they bump into their ex. You didn't break it. You didn't seek her out. You didn't initiate anything, at least as far as I could tell. So you didn't break it. And really the universe just simply lined it up so you two bump into each other again. Why did the universe line you two up to do this? I don't know. Really, only time will tell. It was more than likely either a sign for you that you need to start moving on, or as a way to remind her what she has lost. So you're just going to have to wait this out and see where things go. Unfortunately, sometimes these things take a while. That's why I always recommend that you guys just move on with your life and keep moving forward, because you never know. It may take a couple weeks or a couple months, maybe even a couple years. You just can't sit around and wait. Put your life on hold like that. And really, you know, life works in mysterious ways, and that's what I'm talking about when how the universe has lined it up for you guys to meet each other. I mean, sometimes that person who you thought you would be with forever turns out to be the absolutely worst person that you can be with. And then sometimes that person that you never thought you would see or hear from again just suddenly bursts back in your life years later, like a speeding freight train, just destroying everything in its path and everything that you knew to be true. And I don't mean that in a bad way, I mean that in a good way. And it's just so odd how things work out like that. I've been through it before, and this is why it's always best not to burn bridges with any of your exes and be happy for them, even if they choose someone else over you. Because, well, of course, unless they wronged you in a way that is totally unforgivable. Because you just never know what's going to happen in the future. But like I said earlier, I get asked a lot on how you should behave when you bump into your ex during no contact. Or if you see them on a regular basis. Like I said before, you go to school together, maybe you work together, or you're part of the same social circle. And it makes things a little difficult as far as moving on or being in no contact. So I'm going to tell you how you should behave, because most people, they just want to run and hide and avoid the person altogether because they're scared and anxious when they see them. And this is what I think your ex was going through. Like, she probably wasn't expecting to see you, and you bumped into her, and she's just like, oh my God. I mean, I remember when I split up with a girl, and we hadn't seen each other for months, and it wasn't a bad breakup. We had to split up. It wasn't that anyone did anything wrong. It was just circumstances of life. Bad timing. And we hadn't seen each other for like 4 or 5 months, and we happened to bump into each other at a concert. She was coming in the door, I was going out the door, and I remember her reaction. She just froze and put her hands over her face like that. And it was a happy meeting, but I'm just using that as an example, because your ex, she behaved in a way that you weren't really expecting. So if you broke up, or if the person broke up with you, or it was their actions or lack thereof that led to the breakup, you do not want to approach them unless it's absolutely necessary. Like if you work together and you have to talk to them. But otherwise, you want them to approach you. But you do want to be friendly if you happen to bump into them. Like maybe you bump into each other at the grocery store, or you see each other across the room at some event and you catch each other's eye. You know, just be the bigger person and smile. And, you know, if they call you over or something, you just wave and, how you doing? And just let it go. They should come to you. Now, if she or he approaches you to strike up a conversation or to say hi, you just want to be positive and upbeat, like you're just having a good time. And if you do get into a conversation, you want to let them do most of the talking. A good way to do this is to just ask them questions. But you want to be a little playful and maybe just a tad flirty in your responses. Basically, you want to give off the attitude that you could take them or leave them, but you're open to rekindling something. Now, if you're the man in this situation and your girl left you or was the reason for the breakup, and say she approaches you, you want to assume that she's interested in seeing you in a romantic context. And so after a little bit of back and forth, you know, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing great. What you been up to? You know, things like that. You just want to get directly to the point and just say something like, hey, we should get together. When are you free? And obviously, if she is open to that idea and she gives you a time, then you want to set a date. You want to set a definite date, though. You don't want to say, well, maybe we should hang out sometime in the next couple of weeks. I'll get in touch with you, because it will never happen. So you want to make a definite date right on the spot. You know, say, okay, well, how about Friday at 8 o'clock? But let her tell you first when she's free. Now, I do have some female viewers here, and if you're a woman in this situation, it's basically the same thing, but theoretically, you being open and upbeat and a little playful should be enough of a sign that you're interested in him asking you out. You really don't want to do the asking out. You can, but you really want to wait for him to do it, because this way you know that he's interested in some sort of romance. Now, you guys have to be careful in this situation, because it's really easy to get sucked into the friend zone. You're excited to see your ex. You're excited to talk to him again. The lines of communication are open. So it's super easy to get sucked into this, just because, you know, you miss them and you want to talk to them and you want to see them. And not that they would do this consciously, but they may kind of string you along a little bit. So you have to be careful. You want to stick to your guns as far as it's either romance or it's nothing. You don't have to be a jerk about it, but stick to your guns, because they may say, well, why don't you give me a call tomorrow? And then you start talking on the phone, and before you know it, it's been a couple weeks or a couple months and nothing has happened. So you want to avoid that at all costs. Now, if they give you some kind of runaround or excuses, you know, as to why they can't get together or whatever, you just want to smile and just, you know, say something like, okay, well, maybe some other time. It was great to see you. Keep in touch. And then you just simply walk away and stick to no contact and carry on with your life. If they care or truly love you, they're not going to give up so easily on you. So don't worry about that. The fact remains that it was them that ended the relationship, or they did something to cause the end of the relationship. So it's not your job to earn their attention. That is their job to earn yours. Now, as a man, it's your job to take the lead, and that's why I recommended that you assume that she's interested and ask her out if she approaches you. However, you have to do it at her pace. So if she rejects that idea of getting together, again, you just want to say, okay, well, maybe some other time. You don't want to push it. You don't want to keep trying. You don't want to call her in a couple days and try again. Let her come to you. And, you know, if she does approach you to strike up a conversation, I mean, that's a pretty good sign that she's interested, at least to some degree, though she may not be totally sure yet. And so really all you could do is put it out there, and either she's going to accept it or reject it. And you'll know where she stands in that moment by the way she responds. And I say in that moment because she may be unsure right then, but after seeing you, it may change her attitude a little bit. And what I mean is, like this viewer that wrote in, perhaps he surprised his girlfriend, you know, they accidentally bumped into each other. Had he asked her out right then and she said no, doesn't necessarily mean that she doesn't want to see him. She just wasn't expecting it. So, and as I tried to explain to you guys a lot, women often live in the moment emotionally. So they're going to respond to their emotions in that moment. But after they see you, it may stir up a little bit of emotions. And after she's sat on it for a few days or maybe a few weeks, she may start thinking like, man, I really miss him. Maybe I'll reach out to him again and see what he's up to. And so you just have to be patient, keep moving forward, working on yourself, pursuing your goals, dating other people. Because like I said, you can't wait around and put your life on hold for someone where you don't really know what's going to happen. I know it sucks, but it's just the way it is. And like I said, if she truly cares for you and truly loves you, she will be reaching out to you sometime in the future. I promise you that. I don't know when. Could be a couple weeks, a couple months, maybe even a couple years. I know I repeat myself a lot saying that, but I just want to make sure that you guys understand that it could be any amount of time. It could be tomorrow maybe. Who knows? But you guys should just know that and be able to keep moving forward with your life until she does reach out. And who knows, maybe during that time when you're in no contact, you're going to meet a better girl. And all that pining away that you were doing for her was for nothing. You never know. So if you guys found this video helpful, or any of my videos helpful, I would really appreciate a thumbs up and for you to share it with any of your friends and family who may also find it helpful. And I would also really appreciate you hitting the subscribe button down below and ticking that bell symbol that's next to it so you get real-time notifications of when I upload new videos. And in the description down below, I am going to put a link to my contact page and to my coaching page if you guys need to get in touch with me or you need some coaching. And I will also include a link to PayPal if you guys would like to make a donation. I'd really appreciate it. So I will catch you guys on the next video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.